Hello and welcome to Ginger Man. It's Saturday night and I thought, you know what, I'm going to go to Dalmeny because it's over the bridge and I've covered all the wee towns and villages along the water, but I've missed out Dalmeny. It hides at the back of North Queensferry, but it's got the famous train station that isn't in North Queensferry. It's in Dalmeny, this beautiful little village with an incredible church that I'm parked up next to. And I'm watching the Saturday night football game, Arsenal Leeds. Just relaxing, you know, doing my thing. But I'll go to half time because I've got Saka on my fantasy football team and he's my captain, so you know how it is. Anyway, Dalmeny, show me what you got. Peace.
I'll turn on the camera, test my microphone, I'm firing up the podcast, sound waves coming to your home. Ginger Man with a can is here to make your day. Ginger Man with a can would like to hear you say today.
There we go. Empty car park, which takes you not into the church. I thought it would take you into the church, but that's the church there. Beautiful building. Anyway, let's walk round it. I've been through Dalmeny many times. Dalmeny, but never stopped to walk around. Dalmeny Kirk Cafe, Edinburgh Community Cafe, so Dalmeny part of Edinburgh. But how do I get into the churchyard? Here it's here. Alright, that's the cafe. Open Tuesday, Thursday, Friday. Not on a Saturday night. But how nice does this look? I didn't know this was here. I didn't know that the Kirk was here in such beautiful condition. And there's some boards here, so we'll learn. I like this whole area. Shame the cafe isn't open. Saturday night, what am I saying? That's not the information sign I was expecting. Just like a poster board. Welcome to Dalmeny Kirk. Again, just posters, no information. I maybe got to do that myself on my phone, but hey, this is a cracker. There's an absolute calmness around here right now, which I often find Saturday nights are quite a chaotic time, so it's joyful to find this calm. Look at this. This is a big grave here. There's a squad grave. So here we go. Found some information, but I had to go online. I knew this was a little hidden gem. Built around 1160, likely found by Gospatrick III, Earl of Lothian. It's considered Scotland's best preserved Norman parish church, showcasing elegant Romanesque details. It sits at the heart of the conservation area, which includes adjacent grassland, the manse, churchyard and several historic buildings. So, what do I know about Dalmeny so far? It feels historical, it's got a bubbling of it. But we are close to Edinburgh, and when you look at the population it says 10,000, but that's including North Queensferry, so I don't know, there's probably less than 1,000 people living in Dalmeny today. not going to lie. It's a little terrifying. So just as I was leaving the churchyard there, a lovely lady started speaking to me, and she told me that the church is open to go inside and look around. Sundays 2 till 4. She even said that if she hadn't been so busy, she'd have given me a look around inside today. Now that would have been a Brucey bonus. Right, where am I going? Is this the end of the town? Village. This is the end. That's the thank you for driving carefully sign. This is Dalmeny. I'm not working with much today, but I think what it does is it's in the detail, the little fine details like that Kirkyard, because that is a special find. And then obviously learning about how this has grown up around the building of the bridge, the iconic bridge. Look at these cool cottage houses. And just over there you can see the tops of the road bridges. Oh, look, there's the iconic rail bridge right there, peeking through. But I'm homing in on this bit of grass down here and this red telephone box. I'm saying to myself, is the telephone box going to have books in it? Or is it going to have a telephone box in it? Or is it just going to stink a pee? It smells good down here. Someone's cooking food. I've skipped my dinner to come out for this. I'm going to have a late feast tonight. I'll thank my patrons for it. Look at this, beautiful. The crows are getting excited. I feel like I'm walking the full length of Dalmeny here. Right, you ready for the phone box? Have you placed your bets? Because I didn't have it actually having a working phone on my bingo card. Notice date 11 of the 2nd 25. We're planning to remove this phone. Unfortunately it just isn't used enough for us to carry on running it. This is depressing. I'm in a phone box. Have I got 20p? Is it even 20p anymore? I'm going to have to phone a free number. I'm going to phone this number on it. This is a help number for the phone box. You know, looking as modern people, you can start to see why you didn't want to use them. Shared telephone box. Look how filthy it is. Still got cobwebs on it. I see why they're removing it. You could just keep it for fun. But hey, listen. I tried my best. At least I used it. Time to say goodbye. Do you know something? Sometimes when you live in the central belt, there's not many places that have a feel of being in a Highland village. But this has that feeling. Beautiful plant boxes, trees everywhere. It's really sleepy, but it's not that sleepy because there's quite a bit of people walking around. Now I notice it. Aye. See if I can wander down here. Dalmeny, be careful crossing this road. It's a bend and someone might come flying out, wipe you out. Anyway, on a more positive note, looks like I found a wee woodland pass. Oh aye, the glebe. So there's more houses down here. I'll come back to this, I'm going down the woods. I like walking along woodlandy paths that I've never seen before or been on. I feel like when I was doing North Queensferry, I've come along this path here. I don't know how far I got. I don't know if I came this far along, maybe I did. There's Dalmeny train station just there. So I'll catch that on the way back round. I don't know at what point, like, is this still Dalmeny up here? I'm saying this is still Dalmeny. The only disappointing thing about this little bit of woods is that is a motorway. Motorways are noisy, very noisy. So it's not as peaceful as the main town. The buildings block out the noise, I feel. So when you're walking around, it just has this air of complete calm. Look at this, autumn is in the air. Autumn's in the air. Ba 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 ba. Autumn's in the air. Look at this. Come off the path and look. We're squeezing houses in this space here. Is this all part of Dalmeny? So, building new houses, but that's par for the course in this area. You know, we're so close to Edinburgh. They're firing houses up everywhere. Look, there's houses up there firing up. So I'm assuming these are quite new. And this probably at one point was just all woodland. I guess at one point everything was all woodland. Anyway, so there's obviously two distinct parts of Dalmeny here. There's the bit I started in, conservation area. And then we've got this bit now, the growing, expanding new build that just blends Dalmeny into North Queensferry now. That's it. I can't keep walking any further. Look at the size of this tree here, right? Just if it gives you an idea of how long these trees have been here for. I'm still going. Look at that. Lots and lots of big boy trees. We need houses, we need trees. So we've got to find the balance between houses and trees. Let's walk back through some of these streets, see if they lead straight into Dalmeny. Let's work it out. Let's work it out together. Nice braw houses, so clean, modern streets. That's the words I'm using to describe this place. There's a Tesla, that's not a surprise. This is a place of Teslas. There's another one. I see 4 Teslas. This is New Dalmeny. That's what I'm calling this. I'm wanting to get back to the conservation town. Wait a minute, look how far it goes down though. What I did notice on my way here is South Queensferry, I'm always saying the other for the other. South Queensferry have a big massive new high school, and I'm feeling it's to accommodate all these new bairns from these houses. I know, Sherlock Holmes style investigation right there. Not sure how to get out of here now. Everything looks the same. I swear I should have just walked back in a straight line. I am where I am. Somewhere in New Dalmeny. It's got a waft of farmer's field fertiliser too. It would appear they've put a fence between here and Old Dalmeny. So I'm just going to have to walk back on myself. There's a Packard Street and a Hewlett Way. Is it not a Hewlett Packard? HP. And I'm keeping my eyes peeled for an Apple Avenue. But hey, I've never walked around here before. New area unlocked. Look, there's Packard Street. Packard Street. Why have they got Hewlett Packard in their street names around here? If anyone wants to tell me. A wholesome moment there as a wee boy was watching the trains going past with his dad, getting really excited. That was wholesome. I remember getting excited by trains when I was a kid. I loved Thomas the Tank Engine. Very wholesome. Get this massive garden mansion house. You see like farmhouse and cottage on them, but that's usually a sort of signal for it's massive. It's the Standing Stone Road. There's always a Standing Stone Road somewhere. I'll come back down this way and head along towards the train station before I finish, because I feel like obviously the train station, the bridge, and they're a big part of Dalmeny's history. Right, I'm back at the van, and I'm going to have, do you see that? I bet you can't guess what I'm about to eat. A double biscuit. This is what I'm wanting to thank my patrons for. You guys are the best. Your names are coming up. Well, they're down, up, down the screen. Either or, it doesn't matter. You're legends, and I love you from my heart. Thank you. It's my birthday on Tuesday as well, so, you know, I'm 37. So it's a good time to join the patron legends. Link below. Say happy birthday. Thanks. Peace. If this place wasn't wholesome enough, there's some live music coming from the church hall now. There's lots of fancy people turning up. They all smell great, by the way. The perfumes, the aftershaves, I was getting wafts of it as they were walking past. But I don't know, at first I thought it was like some sort of youth group, but then adults are turning up and there's alcohol, I think, and I don't know what's going on in there, but maybe on my way back I'll get invited in, although I'm not dressed for it. This is a browy back passage to the train station, I believe. I'll get my phone out and I'll do a little bit more digging and research, because it feels like it's been a very whimsical episode, this one. A person on that train could be watching the episode right now. Late night, late summer evenings, it's right cool now. It's only about 12-13 degrees. But it's like you're walking around total comfortable, no sweat, no worries. It's nice, and it just starting to feel that change of season happening as well. But don't worry, there's still just a little bit of summer left. I can just hear the birds now. I can just hear the birds. This is crazy, like this little walkway exists amongst, you know, airports, rail links, capital cities, massive bridges, and yet here's this moment of calm. On time though, the train goes past just to disrupt it. Can't hear the birds anymore. But for a brief moment, I had just, it was perfect, it was serene. Wait. It's quiet again. Of all the things to see coming towards me, a little cat, and it's like real friendly. Aww, hey pal. What are you called? This is the Dalmeny cat. Come here. I'm going to call him Hewlett Packard. He's away. I like that cat. What a beautiful cat. It's so friendly. You see it? I just tried to get that bird and the bird got away. Hewlett, leave the bird. Come here. What a mad little cat. The bird got away. It's come and being all friendly to me, and then it's away trying to kill a bird. Aye. Anyway, I was reading up on the building of the train station. So Dalmeny actually is the the Kirk goes back to medieval times. So there's like this ancient part of Dalmeny that exists. Then the bridge comes along and it's kind of representing a shift in human endeavour. We've got this big steel bridge now taking goods and people from Fife into the Lothians. So it's quite an interesting little place. And you can see why it's a conservation village, because when you're in that main bit with the church, it feels like you're in a different time zone. Even just walking along these little woodland paths in between, they feel like wormhole forests. Right, where's this train station, by the way? I've been walking along here for, let me say, 15 minutes. This way. Let's go. Oh, I know where I am. I'm at the train station. So, with the rail bridge being built in 1890 or finished in 1890, maybe these houses are the ones that were built up around the bridge coming. Because obviously at that time nothing's automated, so when there's a train station that needs more workers back then, there's no automated ticket machines or folk with card machines. I like that they tell you the price on the bus timetable. That's a good feature. It'll be also interesting to watch this back in 40 years time and someone's like, I can't believe it was £2.30 to get on the bus, cheap as chips. It's 50 quid now. And here we are. Dalmeny train station. I made it. It's the famous Dalmeny Deli. But as you know, it's Saturday night and nothing is open. But it's alright, I had my Empire biscuit, double biscuit. So I'm cooking on, I was going to say cooking on gas, but I'm cooking on biscuit crumbs. Look at that, you can get the train to Kirkbeef leaving. Some big Fife hot spots there. But look at the view here, looking down the bridge. That train's no stopping, that's right through. They're the best trains to get, the ones that don't stop as much. Right. That's a bigger hike than I thought. It basically takes you into North Queensferry, South Queensferry. I'll get it right eventually. Aye. Because there's South Queensferry High School just over yonder. So, I'm not too sure where Dalmeny starts and North Queensferry, South Queensferry starts. I'm sure one day I'll work it out, or someone might tell me in the comments. This train will stop at Inverkeven, Dalmeny, Edinburgh Gyle, Edinburgh Haymarket and Edinburgh Waverley. See that? Gaelic underneath. Hill Fort. Dalmeny's a hill fort. Guess that makes me feel better for getting out with breath. It's on a hill. I don't know if it's fortified now. It's fortified by the river on one side, and I guess that's about it. I know the Romans had their wall, their Antonine wall coming somewhere along here. It might have not come through Dalmeny. I've not seen any signs for it. But if you know anything about being on this side of the Forth, you'll know that the mysterious Antonine wall exists. It's just you got to look really hard to find it. Davis. There's some beautiful houses along here. Cracking little street. I can imagine as all the leaves fall off the trees as well. It looks real nice. So my plan is, instead of going along the woodland walk that I came here on, I'm I'm going to take this road. I only know I can take this road because I drove this way in when I got here. And I think like they've got the welcome to Dalmeny sign somewhere along this road. Thus, is this North Queensferry? Have they put Dalmeny train station in North Queensferry? I don't know. I thought, I'm going to get started on my end of year video collaboration. So every time I put an episode up, I'll take some bits out each episode. It's now August. End of August, September. Let's call it September. I've not done one. I had good hopes in January, so I'll be cramming that in at the end of the year for the New Year special episode, where it's basically me looking back on all my favourite highlights of this year. Wonder, like, this clip might be in it. I can't confirm. There is a bus stop. What was this car reversing for? Is it Mr. Junction? I think so. You go to the woods, you go to the train station, you go to the deli, we've got a sandwich walk back this way. Brilliant. They've got it all here. Except a shop. They don't have a shop in Dalmeny specifically, but you're not far from South Queensferry. I got it first time that time. South Queensferry has shops. It's just a nice wee road in. Welcome to Dalmeny, then quickly followed by watch out for the chickens roaming free. I like chickens to roam free. See, there's a Tesco guy delivering some chicken to the residents. Full circle, it's all full circle. This was Odeed when I got here. And then a big party happens at the church. Looks like the party's in full swing. I'll leave them to it, because I'm going to conclude my day. I need to go home and get some real food. Wait. I can hear someone talking. I was wondering, is this episode not quite finished? Are they going to say, come on in? And I'm going to do some barn dancing with them. No, I doubt it very much. Anyway, Dalmeny, what a place. What a cool, quirky little place. Well, one of the nicest hidden churches I've ever seen. I've driven along this road, but I would never have noticed it until today. Today was the day I came to Dalmeny and I was blown away. Anyway, thanks for watching. I'll see you next week. Peace!
Well, it was a lovely to see you. It's the end of the show. Bring on tomorrow. Where shall we go? Where shall we go? Say goodnight to the ginger man. One last ice cream for the bearded band. Pistachio